Hello out there. Holy shit. Welcome to episode 122 of Come Lose It with Matt Duncan. And how do I even talk about anything else today? How do I even fucking talk about anything else? Donald Trump has won the President of the United States again. First time since 2016. First time a president has had non-consecutive terms since like the late 1800s. This guy's done it all. He's given you every reason to not vote for him. In any sane part of the world, you would look at what he's done, what he's been convicted of, what he's been accused of, what he's publicly admitted to, and you would vote the other way, or you wouldn't vote at all. But Republicans in that country, I do not understand. I think that both the parties have an idea of what America is, but I think they both have an idea of what like a new country is. What they think is America isn't America. What Donald Trump is going to do is not going to be very American. So it should change. It should be like the new United States, the MAGA United States. It should be something like that. He should change it. He's going to have the power. He could do whatever the fuck he wants. It is crazy. It is crazy. I cannot believe it. And I had this feeling over the last couple of weeks. Got me thinking about Hillary, all that shit, and everyone's got this reason, that reason. It comes down to this. In America, this majority of people that vote for the Republicans hate women. They do not want to work for a woman. They don't want to work alongside a woman. They're not going to vote for a woman. They didn't vote for Hillary Clinton, and they sure as hell aren't going to fucking vote for Kamala Harris, who's also black, an Indian, or whatever the fuck Trump joked about, didn't know what her race was, or if she even knew. Everyone just laughed. You're never going to have a woman president in that country the way it is, with that group on the other side. Because just enough of the people on the side that would have a female president, they're not going to vote for her. There's enough of them on that side that don't want a woman president. So it's never going to happen. You can hope all you want. You can think that somehow they're going to get through these next years and there might be that everyone might be fed up. You might not have a chance to be fed up. This is fascism that's coming. He's an authoritarian. And he has every fucking branch of government under his thumb now. They couldn't win anything. And the slightest little hope right now, I guess, in that country is that she hasn't conceded yet. Because there's so much fucking shenanigans coming from Russia and bomb threats and all this bullshit about your signature not matching your driver's license, so they're not taking absentee ballot. There's so much horse shit in that country. So she's not conceding until she goes over every part of that to see if there are maybe a lot of votes that haven't been counted. Maybe 100,000 votes in some places or more. Who knows? I cannot fucking believe the world is back in this place. He's in his 79th year. You know that, right? He's on his 79th spin around the sun. So in his first year as president again, he's going to start his 80th year, right? Because when you turn a year, you've completed that year. It's done. You celebrate it being done. You're on to the next year. Wait to see what the fuck he comes up with in his early 80s. A man who's allegedly incontinent, who's cognitively declined. I don't understand. I don't get it. He's going to be he's going to be unhinged. And then you got Robert Kennedy Jr., who has a worm that's eaten part of his brain, and he's going to be taking fluoride out of your water. He's going to be just pray to the gods that voted him in, the fucking Christian gods that voted him in, that there isn't another pandemic, because it'll be horrendous with RFK in RFK in charge of health. This fucking guy. Oh, man. His dad would be so fucking disappointed in him. Robert Kennedy Sr. would be fucking disappointed. I wonder if he knew back then, before he was assassinated while running for president, that his son was going to be such a fuck up in the future. Fucking gross. Not wearing his shoes on planes. He's a fucking gross weirdo. His brain has been destroyed by a worm. My God, how do I move on from this? How do you move on? Well, I have to remind myself I'm not an American. I'll never be an American. I made a decision a long time ago, with whatever fucking career I have left, that I wasn't going to move to the United States. I wasn't going to be that kind of actor. Smarter decision, now that I'm looking at it, to go there. If you want to make it, you have a much better chance of doing so there. You might be able to carve out a career where you're getting some work in Canada, but you got to go to the Americas. You got to go to the Americas. MAGA America, baby. I don't know. It's hard to be positive right now. I don't feel quite the same way as I did in 2016. I remember feeling like I was in grade 8. I remember getting dumped by a girl when I was in grade 8, and it was at the peak of my puberty was starting to get out of whack. I was very emotional. Didn't understand what was happening to me. I remember being very emotional and just distraught over the smallest thing. It was like a 1-week relationship. And I called myself on it at the time, and I was like, what is going on? There's a couple moments that I remember from puberty where I was like, oh man, your body's going through this fucking Spider-Man bite transformation, but you ain't crawling on the fucking ceiling. You ain't shooting jizz out your wrists. You're just getting hair and smelly, and your hormones are trying to figure out what to do with the rest of your body. So that's how I felt. I felt distraught. But this time because I knew you weren't going to vote for a woman. Fucking knew. Didn't have it in you. Doesn't matter what she says. Doesn't matter what he says. He has no plan. He had no campaign. He had nothing. All he says from that fucking movie that I watched, that Apprentice movie I just saw, which is very good, by the way. You should check it out. It's good. I didn't love it, but it's great. And it really exemplifies. There's a line in it where he says, what you say is the truth. Something like that. And that's his whole thing. It doesn't matter what's true or not. Whatever's coming out of his mouth is true. And people love it. His base loves it. And they think that their groceries are going to be a lot cheaper now. They got no fucking idea what's coming with that Project 2025 and shit. Man, and everybody, now listen here. I'm going to move on from this now, because I know I got to take 10 minutes to talk about it, because it's fucking crazy that this has happened. That we've actually seen America choose fascism in an election. It's crazy. You have to talk about it. There's a lot of Americans that are saying, I want to go to Canada. I want to move to Canada. We're going to do the same fucking thing here. We've got an alt-right fuckhead who's going to be our next prime minister. He's going to win. He's going to fucking win. His name's Pierre Poilievre, and he's just going to be a Diet Coke version of Trump. And he's probably going to be in power for at least 10 fucking years. So don't come here. We're going to lose probably the protection from America we're going to be like sitting ducks for other militaries. He's going to pull out of NATO. He might pull the fuck out of NATO. What happens then? Do they side with Russia? What's going to happen? Ukraine's fucked. I don't know if you were all worked up over Palestine, but guess what? Gaza's fucked too. That's going to be a fucking parking lot. It's going to be done. They're going to be giving fucking Israel all the shit they need to clean that place up. Fucking crazy. He fucking won. He fucking won. I just can't believe it. Well, best of luck. And I guess the one thing that can bring you some relief, he's old. He doesn't have much life left in him. He'll probably be dead, I'm going to say, in the next 2 to 5 years. There's something in my gut that's telling me that J.D. Vance will be president by the end of this term. I don't see Trump making it the whole way. He'll either be like completely incoherent and we'll have to make him step down. Something will happen. I don't see him having much left in him. He looks like shit. He looks like a fucking 79-year-old man. Oh, Jesus. Okay. That's it. Moving on. Halloween's fucking over. Halloween is over, and I love fucking Halloween. Shout out to Propbox. Shout out to my friend Chantal Lalonde. Chantal Lalonde, a.k.a. Chantal Renee, a.k.a. Renee Summerfield, who had her own business called Propbox, and it just shut down, and it was a prop house. She had her own prop house that she would rent out to sets and productions, and she had to liquidate and auction off all of the goodies she had. So I bid on some of that stuff, and I'm keeping it, and some of it was like really cool Halloween shit, and it was fun. And, you know, as soon as Halloween is over, let me just tell you this before I tell you that, like, I do Burning Man Hollywood. I do a Burning Man version of Halloween love. I go tits out decorating, and then, like, the morning of the 1st, I have to have it all put away. I smash the pumpkins. I put them in the yard waste bags, folks. Yard waste, not your green bin. And it's done. They're out there in the fucking driveway right now waiting to get picked up. And that's when you officially know it's over, when the pumpkins are gone. But let me tell you something about the pumpkin I carved this year. I bought a nice pumpkin carving kit now that I'll have forever. And it's got all the fucking tools you want. You want to cut the fucking triangles. You want to make some nice, it's got all kinds of shit. It looks like a fucking Jack the Ripper pumpkin carving kit. But it also has the tools for you to do, like, the outside shaving if you don't want to poke holes in the motherfucker. And I've never done that with a pumpkin before. So I made sure. I was like, you know what? I'm going to fucking do it this year. And I got my dog, my boy Gus. Shout out to Gus, who's sleeping behind me. I got ChatGPT to make me a stencil of a Westie, a West Highland Terrier dog. That is who I have. And it did a pretty good job, but I was originally going to cut out pieces, right? And I was like, how am I going to do this and it not just cave in on itself? It was intricate enough that I didn't know if I could pull it off. So I was like, well, what if I just fucking do the shaving shit? And certain parts I just left in, other parts I carved. I used a really nice fine carving thing that kind of looked like, whiskered hair on his face. And man, it looked fucking awesome. I've never in my life, through all of my schooling as a child, have done a piece of art that I was actually proud of. I was never good at it. Never. But this fucking carving, people were complimenting. One kid was like, I thought it was CGI, whatever that means. She thought it was a special effect. Got so many compliments on that pumpkin. I've never had art compliments before. It was weird. So that's the way I'm going from now on. I'm doing the shavings. That's way better than the fucking goofy triangles and holes. And hey, my wife did those. They look great. It was a great juxtaposition. I got no issues with that. But I've done it for years. It's time for me to get into this like carving business. I feel like it just, I'm not saying I'm not going to go back. Maybe just one pumpkin. Why are we talking about this still? But shout out to PropBucks. What a good fucking run you had. 5 years. You gave it your all. You've been in the prop business for even longer. And it's time to move on. It's great. You're middle-aged and there's things to look forward to. So if you're hearing this, Chantal, I'm very proud of you. And your stuff will live on, the stuff that I bought. I got some beef with Spotify. I started to listen to audiobooks. I didn't even realize that what I paid for, and I just realized that the prices are going up again. Fuck. But if you have the premium account, if you're paying for the premium, $15 or whatever, you get like 15 hours a month of audiobooks and all the current ones and stuff. The problem with audiobooks is that like the average audiobook is maybe 8 to 10 hours. And so you're getting one book a month. That's all you're getting. And if you're on like a shared plan, it's only for the main person. You don't both get it, which is really fucking dumb. What is this shit with audiobooks? Why is there this weird... Why are they so... Even when you're paying for Audible and shit, you still only get like 1 or 2 books a month? I don't get it. What is the gatekeeping around audiobooks? We can listen to fucking infinity amount of songs. Infinity. But a book? Fuck. I just don't understand it. I don't understand a lot today. I don't understand. I'm trying to understand. My birthday is coming up. It's a very big one. I am turning fucking 40. 40! 40. That's the age my dad turned the last year before he split up with my mom. I always remember that because I saw the cake hiding in the garage. So it's a weird thing to think of now, me turning 40, thinking of my dad starting his life over again pretty much right now. Like this year, next year, he just started over again. Got a new wife. Got some stepkids. I don't know how yet. The thought of it, the thought of having the energy to do that makes me fucking nauseous. And boy, did he need his energy. I bought the most middle-aged gift for myself. Now that I'm middle-aged, definitely middle-aged. I don't know what the fuck you guys think 50 is middle-aged. You ain't middle-aged, dog. You over that. Okay? Middle-aged is halfway to 80. Because after 80, you've won. As I've said before in this podcast, when you hit 80, it doesn't matter. If you keep living, it doesn't fucking matter. Because it gets worse. Every fucking year you get, like, it's like you start aging like a dog once you hit 80. So wait till we see Trump when he fucking actually hits 80. How fucked up he's going to be. He's going to be in full blackface tanning. There isn't a shade of orange that will be able to keep out that man's paleness. Like, he must be so fucking pale. Holy shit. You can see it sometimes. He's done some bad bronzer shit, and you can really see the white. He is fucking pale. He is a boy from Queens. A boy from Queens who never won his home state. That's the only thing you can take from it. That's the only little sugar on the cake. The city he fucking grew up in hates him. The state fucking hates him. That's the only credit you have. He's just, and that's why I guess he never is going to go back because he's a felon there. He's got a sentencing coming up. That's going to be fucking washed. Oh, here I am talking about the Orange Monster again. I guess we're going to be talking a lot about it, though. It's just, it's interesting. It's why not, plant the tent peg on the first shithole campground that's sure to come. It's going to be wild. Oh, man, you thought the 2016s, the late 10s were nuts. The 20s have been such shit. The 20s, the 2020s of this century are definitely probably going to be the worst, right? It can't get worse. It started with a fucking pandemic. And it's going to end with another term of Trump. It's just mad. The 20s have been such shit. I hate it. I fucking hate the 20s. I really was looking forward to the 20s. And take me back to the 10s. Take me back to the early 10s, please. Fuck. Oh, Jesus. Jeez, I'm still in the fucking opening turd. So just before we move on to the fitness update, the middle-aged gift that I bought myself were some earplugs. Some nice earplugs. They're called Loops. I got gold ones, so they're fucking amazing. They're the best earplugs. You know when you're fighting with those fucking orange Cheeto-looking motherfucking foam things, and you gotta ring them to make them really thin, and then stick them in the hole and let them expand, and it's sometimes they're hard to get out, hard to get in. Not with this. Not with these. They're worth it. Now they can be $40, $50, but you got a nice little case. You pop those in. I got ones that are good for loud events, because I ain't going to fucking music shows, loud fucking venues and shit, loud bars. I ain't doing that shit anymore. My hearing's too important. I'm not fucking going there without these things popped in. And you won't even really notice them. They don't stick out. They kind of look like, I look like a fucking guy with stretcher earrings, but I've got them in my ear holes. That's what it looks like. It's like you're rocking that stretcher life. So I got that. I started PVRing 60 Minutes. That's also something that makes me feel very middle-aged. I'm watching 60 Minutes. It just kind of crept up on me on my shoulder and was like, should I be watching 60 Minutes? They put together a nice, tight little show. So I've been doing that. Just having cable now. I have cable. I haven't had cable. This is the first year I've had cable fucking since I lived with my last roommate who had cable, which is the early 10s, the heyday, the roaring 10s. So yeah, that's where I'm at. I don't really know how to feel. All I know is I've got a cute dog, and just seeing his little face makes me happier and makes me feel like maybe things will be okay, and at the very least, he's cute.
Fitness update.
All right, welcome to the fitness update. So it's been pretty brutal. I got on the scale. I've gained some weight. I'm kind of back to the most I've ever weighed, which is scary. I don't know how that happened. We've obviously been eating shit. I've been eating too many calories, and I haven't been working out, and that's a problem. So now that I'm 40, I really want my 40s to have some more restraint, have a little more discipline. I want to get back to somewhere I was in the past. I know it's hard. I know it's only going to get harder, but if I can just have a little discipline and not drink as much, I'll be fine. And I did buy, for my birthday, as a birthday gift to me, I bought something. I usually cheap out. I'm like, I'll just get, I'm always spend $40 on myself. And I was like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm turning 40. And if I'm going to survive my 40s, it's going to be with this gift. I have undiagnosed ADHD for sure. And the problem with having ADHD, it's small little tasks, when you have to think about them, become impossible. So I have dumbbell weights, and I've got plates, and so I can swap in and out of 5 pounds, 10 pounds. I can go up to 30 pounds, maybe 40 pounds on a dumbbell. I have a curl bar and it's just loaded up with some weights, small ones, big ones. And it drives me nuts having to do that. So I've always wanted to have those dumbbells that are adjustable, like they lock in with plates. You just turn the dial and then it's like 10 pounds. Turn it again, it's 15 pounds. You just real fast. I fucking bought them. They're on Amazon. There was a good price. There was a $50 coupon. They came to about, after tax, they came to $125 per dumbbell. And that's like, each dumbbell is 4.5 pounds, 10, 15, 20, 25. All in one, right? And I don't know if you know this, but if you're going to go buy plates and dumbbells and all this shit on their own, they're not cheap. I don't know if it's because of the weight or what. They're fucking expensive. They're so expensive. So it's going to cost you money either way. And this, I've used them now 2 days, and I love them. I'm just doing full body workouts right now, and my legs are feeling. I'm doing lots of squats. I'm doing lots of bench press. I'm doing skull crushers. I'm doing curls. I'm doing fucking Russian Deadpools. Doing shoulder press. All that shit. It comes with a map, a bunch of exercises that you can do with the dumbbells. That's what I need. So I got it for my birthday, and I'm going to be using these. I'm going to work out again today because listen to me. All of you work out. All of you meditate today. I don't care if you're fucking on that side or this side. Fucking work out today. Take care of yourself today. I'm going to get back on that exercise train, and I'm going to get back to a weight that I want to be in, a body shape that I want to be.
Health news. News that is health related.
Okay, so I'm just going to talk about one health article today because it does pertain to me, and it pertains to people that I know and that are living a sedentary lifestyle. If you're on that fucking grind, the majority of us are on the computers all day. We're sitting. Hopefully it's going to change one day and we're all going to go back to just being laborers outside or something. I don't know. But it seems like this is the only way to do it. And it's something I've done for many, many years. And I've had standing desks for probably a decade now. My wife made me my first one, which I love. I don't use it anymore because I have a power one that goes up and down and has I have set settings for where I like it to be when I'm standing and where I like it to be where I'm sitting, which is where I am now. And, you know, there's been some back and forth, I think, about is standing desks actually good for you? Are they actually better than sitting? Is it doing anything at all? And I did find an article talking about it. Now, of course, with the health news, I always post the article. You can read it yourself. There was a study done at the University of Sydney about how standing desks aren't all that you think they are. Okay, so I'm going to go through a little bit of it for you. You can make your own assumptions, your own conclusions, read the article, and maybe just, you know, food for thought. So office workers around the world have embraced standing desks as a passive way to improve their health, though the concrete benefits may not stand up to scrutiny. Published this month, the study examined accelerometer data on 83,000 people from the United Kingdom based on the UK Biobank, a health database, and it reviewed the time spent sitting and standing compared to rates of major cardiovascular and circulatory disease. During a roughly 7-year period of data, researchers found that remaining stationary for more than 12 hours per day was associated with higher risk of heart disease, heart failure, and stroke, but did not find a notable relationship that was particular to standing. Instead, extended time standing was associated with a measurable increased risk of orthostatic circulatory conditions, such as varicose veins, hypotension, and venous ulcers. This was also true for sitting. So the key takeaway is that standing for too long will not offset an otherwise sedentary lifestyle and could be risky for some people in terms of circulatory health. Even so, the study concludes that the findings indicate increasing standing time as a prescription may not lower major cardiovascular disease risk and may lead to higher orthostatic circulatory disease risk. So, and this is why, like, I wear an Apple Watch. I've talked about it on the show before. If I'm standing and I'm working for hours, it still is like, hey, you need to stand. I get these alerts like you need to stand. And it's like, but I am standing. What the fuck? But I think the reason for that is like you need to move. It's like the alert shouldn't be about standing. How often are you standing? How often are you moving? How often are you getting up and moving, right? That's what's important. So I think you're going to burn more calories standing than sitting. That's a fact. Maybe not much, but you are going to be burning some calories. People that have like under the desk treadmills, I'm sure that helps. Also, just like getting up and moving. If you're standing at your desk all day, go for a little bit of a walk, move around, do some exercise. You can't do anything. There's a reason they move you in the fucking hospital beds when you can't move yourself. You get the bed sores. You don't want the fucking bed sores. So, yeah, this article is pretty much saying standing, it's not doing as much. Could actually be doing harm for you, depending on who you are. So be conscious of that, I guess. Just try not to do anything too much. So I like to move from sitting, standing. I move around a lot, It's impossible because, it's like also people are like, yeah, I wish I had all this time to get the fuck away from my computer, but my shitty job doesn't allow it, Anyway, that's it. Time for shit. Okay, we are at the end of the podcast. Isn't that fantastic, folks? Isn't that fantastic? We got some other shit to talk about. We're not going to talk about the orange mango anymore. We're going to move on. We're going to move on and talk about some other fucking stuff. Just all this other shit. Other shit that's on my mind. I've been playing fantasy hockey for many, many years. I'm in a keeper league with some friends. And I'm really getting sick of it. I'm honestly doing it to stay in touch with these friends because I know that if I leave this league, I'll never talk to the majority of them again. It'll be very rare. So I'm paying $100 a year just to keep in touch. That's what you have to do when you get older. Sometimes you have to just pay money to keep friends. That's really what you do. And that's what I'm doing. But I still can't help but take it so seriously, especially when I make bad moves and stuff like that. But it's just this thing that you do. It's like a fraternity. You're just kind of stuck in it. And you got to go to the toga party and you got to, try to be cool and stuff. And you feel like shit, but oh well, at least you guys are hanging out and doing keg stands and shit. And I guess we'll talk about the lockout. It's still going on. My acting career is in the shitter, of course. I've been auditioning quite a bit though lately. I've gotten some more Murdoch auditions that I didn't get. I must be the one actor in Toronto that has had the most Murdoch mystery auditions and have never booked. This is not a fucking show that should be that hard to get on. And the fact that I am not showing the goods for this show means I should probably quit. And I'm really considering it. I can see the hourglass and the sands are getting pretty light on the top. I'm not fucking kidding. And the lockout's still going on for the commercials. Yes, there's been another big agency called Publicis has signed a continuance, and I just see it as another chess move because they haven't come out against the lockout. They haven't said anything against the ICA or Scott Knox. It's just clear that he's trying to give the union a little bit of meat so they stop biting the ankles. But the ultimate goal is still to turn us into non-union actors, making less than non-union money. And what that means for you non-union folk is you're going to make even less than that. You'll probably be making about half that you're making now, and probably some volunteer. You're going to be doing a lot more volunteer work. So that'll eventually happen, and I guess we're just gonna keep fighting. I don't fucking know. I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm tired of it all. I'm tired of. I was at a callback the other day, and I was sitting in that fucking waiting room, and I was angry. I was just like mad. I was just kind of like, I don't want to do this anymore. You know, when you come to that point in your career, whatever you're doing, when you really feel it in your fucking bones, when you know you'd rather I'd rather pick up cigarette butts and take them to a recycling center for money. You know when it's that fucking dire, it's time to get out. So I got to figure out a way to pivot. I got to find some in this second half of my midlife or whatever the fuck. I got to figure out what the fuck I'm going to do, you know, because I don't want to be renting. I want to buy a little fucking house somewhere fucking in the country somewhere. I want a nice window where I can drink a nice rye and watch the world fucking burn. That's really what I want. Somewhere I can just run with my dog, come inside, look out the window at the flames. You fucks you. You fucks you. So yeah, we'll see. Not on hold for the audition. Went fine, you know, but it just wasn't up Shanice's alley. So Vince Carter got his jersey retired in Toronto. He was a Toronto Raptor. 20 years ago, he left the team. 20 years ago. It's been 20 years since Vince Carter left the Toronto Raptors in a bad way. People were pissed. He was booed for years. But there would be no Toronto Raptors without Vince Carter. Would there be the Kentucky Raptors, be the Idaho Raptors, be the fucking Alabama Raptors, it'd be something. Be fucking something. Little Rock Raptors. Team would be gone just like Vancouver. He got his jersey retired. It was an insane emotional event. Man, he was amped. He was amped. And his name is up there now, waiting for some other players who are still playing to join him. But let me tell you something right now. And I want this fucking Kawhi Leonard talk to end. I know I'm not producing a basketball podcast anymore, but I was there through the whole fucking thing with it. I was there with the team till 2023. Kawhi Leonard cannot get his jersey retired. It sends the wrong message. You can't revere someone that was sent to your team to piss them off. Greg Popovich sent him to Toronto to be like, oh yeah, you want to go to LA? I just sent you to fucking Canada. How do you like that, you little asshole? That's what Greg Popovich did. He even said, he's like, I'm going to fucking send him to Canada. He wants to go to fucking LA? Fuck him. You can do that when your contract expires. Let's see if you turn down $35 million in fines because you don't want to play in Canada. He didn't want to come here. Kawhi dragged his feet to that first press conference. We didn't know up to that point if he was even going to play. And then he played 60 games. He missed 22 games. So he didn't even play a full season. And then the magic happened. And with a very strong team alongside him, a very strong team, and I will not take it away from Kawhi. I don't think we would have won without him. I don't think we would have won with DeMar and his steed. But he was one guy on that team that got us through 2 and 3 round. By the fucking finals, you could hear his knee creaking like the fucking Tin Man. He was playing at like 70%. And Kyle and Fred and Marc Gasol and Pascal, they all picked up for him so he could rickety rick on that fucking knee. He should retire. Fuck. Anyway, he left the fucking team after that 1 year, went to the Clippers, which led to the Raptors being completely blown up into rebuild mode when they should have been going back for another fucking championship. They would have won that bubble championship. How can you retire that guy's jersey just because he won? You retire his jersey, and it says one thing. The Raptors weren't supposed to win. It took a crazy trade to make it happen. This was a goofy fucking thing that should have never happened and will probably never happen again. Don't buy into that shit. Go down to one of those fucking condo streets, those hideous fucking looming condos in Toronto that are blocking out the light. One of those little streets, you name it, Kawhi Leonard Boulevard. That's fucking it. That's what you do with Kawhi. All right, guys, that's it. Okay, I think we got it out. We got 122 in the bag. Thanks to all the people that are picking this up on YouTube. I don't know, I'm getting some hits, not a ton of hits, but I'm not promoting it at all. I'm getting like 20, 25 hits now. That's cool. Fine, fuck it. Thanks for listening. Good luck, America. Fascism. Hey, you gotta try it. Don't knock it till you try it. A friend once said that to me. Fascism. Don't knock it till you try it. I'm sure you'll love it. It went really well the last time. Get up and dance for your president, Donald Trump. Oh, yeah. He's shitting his diaper. He's eating McDonald's in the Oval Office. Okay, I like that about him. It's one thing I like. Did he play the Monopoly? Did he play the Monopoly? Did he put his ballots on the car? Like I did. Don't think I won. Need a new car, Trump. Can't wait to see these tariffs. Hope it doesn't fuck up the dollar. Please don't fuck up the dollar. Hey, Trump, don't fuck up the dollar. Trump, don't fuck up the dollar. Don't fuck up the dollar. I need the conversion. Don't fuck up the dollar. Trump, don't fuck up that dollar. I want that 36%. I want that 36%.